Don't tell me what to do, Dennis. Hey, it's PopPop. I'm waiting for Jez. Hi, guys. Thanks for showing up. Send him the invite. Waiting to see what's going up. Hello, Doug Losi up in Jacksonville area somewhere, one of my Florida guys. Just waiting for Jez. What questions do you have for all of us? Mr. B, Mr. Baraz is here. Dr. B is here. Sorry that, hopefully we'll get this all fitted in between patients and go from there. But, see right there between my shoulder and Matt Dinneman, that's all of Jez's books right up in there. That's my Legion shelf. You're not fighting Jez. He would kick the living daylights out of you. I know you came to harass Jay Perez. That is what you do. You are the troll. And look, I'm even representing. Come on. I take my position here very seriously. Hey, Dennis, how many Jez Cajiao books have you read? All of them? Talk to me, people. Be serious. Don't be like Jay. It's easy to win a fight against Jez. I can even give everyone the info on how to do it. Don't give up your advantages over everybody else that they have. So just to keep babbling, because I'm not going to sit here and not babble, Jez was one of the first authors I got to talk to back before Con, much to the chagrin of Paul Hazelton, because Paul doesn't like to share, which is a very true thing. So when I was sitting in the lobby on Thursday night with Reckwell and a bunch of other people, Jez walks around the corner and just, in his big way, does a big greeting, and we get up and we hug each other, and we just met right then and there, had a great time. He is a great person. That's all there is to it. Oh my God. You're a yapper too. I don't want to hear it, Dennis. You and your let's go party people. That's about right. I think he's lost. I think there's like a storm in northern England or something. He's active. He's around. I just don't know if he knows where he's supposed to be. I'm going to have to get some sort of recompense for this. My time is very valuable. Don't you think? Should I go show the books I got today? He's either drunk. It's 9:00. Oh, you mean then? Yes. Yeah, well, he always seems able to have a conversation. So I don't know what that says. Let's go see the new books. Now I have to get up. I'm going to show you what Lycanthropy did. PopPop does little birthday blurbs and all that kind of stuff. So a couple of weeks ago, I sent Lycanthropy happy birthday, and all of a sudden, I have book 1 signed, book 2, book 3, book 4, and the unreleased book 5. I hate this backwards camera stuff, but that's the way it is when you're doing it in the reverse side. I've got the full set. Not only that, she sent a set to Gims as well. We've got 2 sets. Of course, it might take her 25 years to read it. I gave her a book called The Phlebotomist about 2 years ago, and she just finished it last night. I'm not saying anything, but that's the way it is. He's still active. Should I call him? Maybe I'll call him. Hey, dude, I'm waiting for the interview, but it's 3 o'clock Eastern time. We had it scheduled for. It did. It is. What are we going to do? What do you want to do? I figured something. Go. Everyone's here, and they're watching me talk to a phone. Awesome, Saucy. Goodbye. It's that technical time change thing. They haven't changed their time yet. Don't ask me why. But he'll be here in 2 minutes. No picking on the guest of honor. Do you understand me, Baraz? Oh, those? I'll show you those. The Andrew Gibler Soul Fraud or Soul Collection series, Debt Collection series. They look really cool. So I have all 5 books and a novella. As you know, I did an interview with Andrew a few weeks ago, and I snagged all his books right beforehand so I can have him and read them. He's a great guy. He knows everyone as well. He can't wait to get to LitRPG as a panelist as well. So, yeah, they're great. They look really cool up on the shelf. So I have to clear this away. I can't have a messy shelf area. I guess next you want me to pull out all my 78th on books out of my bookcase. Well, that's not happening, Dennis. Ugh. So there. He's putting the kids to bed or to sleep or whatever happened. He's going to pop on. So hopefully Dr. B will be able to hang out or come back in between patients or some such thing. So, hey, Jay, what's your favorite Jez Cajiao book? Cajiao. How do you say the name? I can't remember. He'll tell me. No. N-O. No, Dennis. You are worse than Brian. I guess that's a good thing. Who knows? I'm not taking every book out one by one. You can even see books from me. You can see Haylock Johnson's books. Jez Ketchup? No. No. Not going there. Here he comes. Oh, hi.
How are you doing?
Good, Jez.
A little bit of confusion.
I didn't know I didn't know that added like 2 hours to things for our islands and continents and whatnot. Everybody, Jez is here.
I'm sorry I'm late, guys.
You're fine and dandy. Hey, you're Jez. You can do whatever you want, and it'll still be perfect.
I wish. Trust me, that's my wife. That certainly isn't the case.
Well, we know Chrissy's in charge, right?
Exactly. She definitely is.
That's the way it is everywhere. So thanks for coming on. We do know this this time difference can be a pain in the ass. However, last night I did learn that you do stay up to 2 o'clock to play games with people like Neil Helligers.
At 2 o'clock in their afternoon, it's 7 o'clock my evening. Yeah, Sunday evening.
You're not staying up all hours of the night playing games.
No, I would love to. Genuinely, I would love to, but I just don't have the damn time. And with having 2 small humans that are up at like 6:30 each morning, just doesn't happen, unfortunately. Not anymore.
Not work anymore, huh?
No.
So you're going to start this oceanic transference again, coming over twice.
Yeah, I'm over definitely twice this year. The intention is it's just going to be twice, though we'll see how things go. It's
You can get
basically
drafted.
yeah. It's with last year I was across 5 times, so
Oh
it
my
was just
God.
too much. And when you look at it from coming from the UK over, a con is always at least 3 days. You're looking at least a day either side of it. You're looking at traveling time. It's a week. It's always a week as a minimum.
And that's a lot of time
And
to give up.
it really is, but it's also, if you think, like 5 weeks last year and then a couple of London cons and other smaller cons, it meant that I was away for about 7 weeks of the year. And I've got at that point, a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old. I've got a 5 and a 7-year-old now. But you think when you're away for that kind of time, it's not fair on Chrissy to have the kids all that time. And it's not fair on the kids, and I miss them. I kind of like them. You know,
You do? Well, that's a good thing that you like them.
they grow on you after a while.
So you know what you're doing at JordanCon yet? Get that JordanCon part out of the way.
Well, JordanCon, I'm coming over because it's one of my favorite cons. I really enjoy the con itself. It's nice people, it's a nice place. I'm a massive fan of the Wheel of Time. I always have been. And then Brandon Sanderson's coming this year, so I wasn't going to come back across this year, but I thought, well, if he's coming, I'll come and see it because I'd like to meet him. And then
panelists there.
Yeah, well,
Okay,
Geneva
so
runs
you will
the
be doing
tracks.
official things
so,
as well.
Yeah. I'm not going to have a table this year. I usually have a table, but I'm not going to have a table this year just because it means that if I'm not literally on a panel, I have to be at the table. So the last couple of years when I've done the I've done the con rather, I don't have any time where I'm not at the table or in panels. So this way around, with not having the table at all, it means I can actually just do my panels and then mooch around and meet people and drink.
And you are a social animal.
I tend to be a little bit. I get to that point where it's sort of like I need to have some downtime and escape, and then I come back because I genuinely I like our people and enjoying
Boslow
relaxing.
did cut in. I'm very happy Boslow made it in. So
he's a good one. He's
a good guy.
He is.
Yeah. And Jay, of course, is here just to pick on you. But we have a lot of people here, and I'm very happy. So we're going to have fun. I'm going to be there. I get to be and so does Dennis. Dennis, I think, is going to be one too. I'm going to be there as a media guest. I don't know how that happened, but, I'll have to pick on you there as well.
That's what happens. That's what we're all there for. A bit of abuse, a bit of friendly abuse.
My friendly abuse to you, this is coming up. Where's my next book?
Your next book? Which one? What are you waiting for?
Rise of Mankind, next book.
Okay, so look.
You're putting out like UnderVerse book 12.
Yeah. So what's going on at the moment is the way that I worked is I would write, because of the way that I literally work, I'm writing a book every 3 months, releasing constantly. And because of the size of my books, to do it at that rate, I need to be writing about 7,000 words a day. That's not sustainable over the long period. It just isn't. You burn out with it.
That's more than Jay Krause. That's more than Jay Krause.
Well, Jay is he's an animal. He's incredible, that lad. But it means that when I do it that size and that repeatedly, you burn yourself out of the world. So the best way for me to deal with it was to write 2 books in this series, 2 books in this series, 2 books in this series, and then move back around. And that worked for the first sort of year and a half, 2 years, until people started to point out that if they like this series, but they don't like the other 2, they're waiting 18 months for the next book. And in LitRPG, ideally 3 months is the perfect cycle.
Yeah, you're right.
So if they're waiting 18 months, it's not good for them. It's not good for me for selling the books. Mm-hmm. And when we realized this, it was like, well, I can't keep this up. I need to finish them all off. But if I continue in the current way of doing it, like 2 books, 2 books, 2 books, it'll be a couple of years before I've got it all done. And that's just not sustainable. So I focused in and I finished off Arise, first of all, because I only had 4 books in to do that. So it was logical to get that one done. Next, it was figuring through it. It was a better idea to do Rise of Mankind because there were less books in it. But at that point, it had been 3 years since I'd done UnderVerse, like 2.5, and would be 3 years by the time they were ready for release. And when it had been like 10 months for Rise of Mankind, so I couldn't just put them that way around because it would have been another year or more before Rise of Mankind before UnderVerse was started again. So I decided what I'd do is I would focus on UnderVerse, get that all the way done, and then I would go to Rise of Mankind.
So with that gap time between UnderVerse and picking it back up, do you have to reread? Do you have to like delve into it to make sure you're right at the right spot in the right mindset?
Yeah, entirely. I need to reread through from scratch because part of the problem is that a lot of the story is locked in your mind, but it's the overview and you miss the details. And so when you're going through, you just miss bit after bit after bit. And then you're halfway through this scene and you go, wait a minute, wasn't there? And then you go back to check and it takes you 2 hours to find a little detail, which didn't really matter a great deal, but you need to be able to thread throughout. So it can become painful. So yeah, you go back to the very beginning, read all the way through, gets you in the right headset, in the right mind, and then you continue.
So somewhere between now and 2030, I'll get the next book.
Okay, so the way that it's going to work is that my intention was...
I'm persistent. Sorry, Jez.
Yeah, that's fine. Dude, that's fine. So my intention is that come the end of this year, I will start work on the next Rise of Mankind and I'll write the remaining 2 books. Okay. Now, where I am at the moment is that I am going to work on a side project between now and then. And the reason for this is that I've had this in the back of my mind for nearly 2 years. And the problem with this is that if it stays in your mind, it contaminates everything else you're doing. So then what I'll end up with, if I don't do it, if I don't get it out, is that when I'm writing Rise of Mankind, because it's taken me so long, I kept having to pull bits of it out of UnderVerse to make sure it wasn't going through. So the same thing will happen with Rise of Mankind. Bits of the story will twist to accommodate this idea I've had for so long that I've been wanting to work on. And we don't want to do that because it's going to damage the story. So what we do instead is I write a side project that's off, and then I get straight back to Rise of Mankind as soon as it's out of the way.
I can live. I mean, I have to read UnderVerse anyway. So that'll give me something to read eventually in there. Now, I am not as bad as Jay Barras because
yeah, he has that fucker.
He has this, and it was well known. It's been marketed, Jay. So
always standalone.
One book, nothing, standalone. Go away. Yeah. Leave the man
Let's
alone.
Get the camera. Sorry, I'm activating the camera so it follows me.
Yeah, I know
okay.
I know you have the special powers and whatnot. He's all magical and stuff. Uh-oh. There we go. How about that as a library there, Dennis? Better than mine.
Yep. There's Prototype and Jay.
Yeah.
It's going back.
Standalone. Standalone.
Yep.
So there. Doesn't mean I'm going to stop. Okay, fine. Whatever.
No, he won't stop. But, what's life if you don't bully your friends?
For me, Arise is on the urban fantasy side. So, I haven't even read Ben Karai's Vampire Vincent books yet, but I promised that I would read his if he finishes Unorthodox Farming 3. So eventually, I'll get over there. I have a lot of demands.
I want him to finish that as well because I'm a fan of Ben's. I really like Ben's stuff, except he can't write more than 2 books in a series, period.
Wow. That's slower than Tommy Kerper. So,
yep.
How is everything going with LitRPG Con? It's going to be so much bigger, different, and better.
It is. It's a strange one, in all honesty, because the con itself was wonderful. Last year was fantastic. First year, we had, I think, off the top of my head, about 1,160 people. Absolutely wonderful. There were very much minimal disruptions, except for the fire. Obviously, I still blame Geneva for that. It was nothing to do with her, but I like to blame Geneva for things on a regular basis, so I'm going to blame her for this. But no, it went fantastically well. We really enjoyed it, and we obviously booked for the second year. I've been personally responsible for the sponsorship side of things. So I'm going to just throw this one out because I know that some people, and there's always a few people that want the details just to be able to complain about things. So I'm going to give you all an idea of what it costs to run a con. Okay. Now, we worked it out we've got 2,000 tickets we're selling this year, and we're going to be selling out before the con at this rate. quite a bit before the con. So if you haven't got tickets yet, people, please get them soon, because the maximum tickets are set by the hotel as well. So at a certain point, the hotel will say, that's it, no more people getting in. So if you're planning on buying on the day, just so you're warned in advance. Now, the hotel has certain rules that we have to follow, one of which is we have to provide water for people, because otherwise, if people collapse from heat or anything else, or it's our fault. Yeah. Now, we worked it out. If we provided 4 bottles of water a day for every single person that's going to be attending the con, for all 3 days of the con, it would cost us just under $3,000. Okay?
For water.
For water. Have a guess how much the hotel is charging us for water.
$7,500.
Try again.
Oh my God.
This is for the big water drums that are in the corner of each room.
Yep.
$12,000
total.
$12,000 for them. Yeah.
For water.
Just for the water that we have to provide. Yeah. So the problem is that we've then, as a sponsor, as trying to arrange this for sponsorship, we're asking people to put in to pay some of these costs. So we've put the sponsorship for the water at $7,000. Now, that means we are eating $5,000 in cost. Why are we doing that? Because we don't believe that it's right to charge anywhere near as much as we're having to charge for it. But it's literally a case of, if we don't, that's another $12,000 lost in the cost of running the con. We lost money last year. We'll probably lose money this year, because it's horrifically expensive, up to the tune of $500,000 to be able to run a con like this. And yet, it's bloody brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. Financially, it's not a rewarding thing running a con like this. It really isn't, because there's a limited amount of people we can get in, and there's a limited amount of stuff we can do. But from the giving back side, from the social battery, it's worth it in spades. We get to come out here, we get to meet our people. We go to Dragon Con. Now, I've been to Dragon Con for years. Really enjoy it. The first time I came out there, I was stunned. I've never been to a con before, and there's 100,000 people here, many of which are highly attractive ladies in minimal clothing, which is obviously always a wonderful thing to see, especially when you're not expecting it. But it's cosplay. It's very, very heavily into cosplay, and it's really good fun. Now, that's 100,000 people. Out of that 100,000 people, from an author's point of view, I need to be able to figure out, who am I here to see? And see my people. There's maybe 20,000 at most, probably close to 15,000 that are actually there for the reading side of things. Most of them are there for movies and for cosplay. So we say out of 100,000, we're down to 15. Out of that 15,000, there's maybe 500 that are aware that LitRPG even exists and are really interested in it. And then out of those 500, we now have to spread it across the 100,000 attendees. Meaning that even when Matt Dinnerman, who is the biggest of us all by a massive margin for any kind of event like this, even when he's doing an event, he's getting like 100 people, 150, 200 people. And it was only when we was really, really heavily built up the event that we managed to get, I think, 400 people along to one event. And that was after 3 or 4 years of trying. So you look at it and you go, this is the biggest it can be at Dragon Con. And then you look at our little con. First year last year, we've got 1,160 odd people. So this year we're aiming for 2,000, and we're really looking forward to it, because I'm going to be naughtily drunk for a week. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah, you were right. He mentioned something about that, but then I guess he knows stuff.
Yeah.
That is pretty amazing. And now we do have sponsors galore. I'm assuming a lot of the sponsors from last year are back. We have some new people coming in.
We do.
So we have a whole bunch of new sponsorship opportunities as well. So that's got to help a little bit. I mean,
we're at, I think, 3/4 of the sponsorship is filled now. Pretty much all the big ticket items are done. The vast majority of the smaller ticket items are done as well, and it's going really well. So I'm glad on that side. I wasn't, sorry, just to be very, very clear to everybody, I wasn't pushing, please sponsor us. That wasn't what that was about. I just wanted to explain that it's horrifically expensive to run it, because I've already heard a few people saying, oh, look at how much they're trying to charge for the water. Isn't that ridiculous? And it's like, yeah, it is fucking ridiculous. It's massively ridiculous. And I really wish we weren't charging that. But we're getting charged that and more by the hotel. As an example, Wi-Fi. To have Wi-Fi,
You need
$20,000.
Wi-Fi.
$20,000 they're charging us for it.
I guess they want to make a profit from you guys, huh?
They're making a profit. They're making a hell of a profit. But now I'm having to look at somewhere else to hold LitRPG Con moving forward, because why wouldn't we? So
Yeah, I mean, at this point, we've reached a limit at that particular location. Now,
it's literally a case of we really like Denver. We really do. And I will stress this as well, guys. Emily and Geneva run the con. Jeff and I are often approached about like, oh, you do all this. We don't. We pretty much show up, sign checks, and wave at people. It's pretty much our involvement. Geneva and Emily are running the whole thing. I assist. Yeah, I assist. They do, very much. I want to be very clear on that. They have done absolute magic with the con, and they continue to do that. So yeah, it's a case of we're going to look at another site. We would like to keep it in Denver because Denver is a beautiful city, and it's a really good location for everybody flying in. So we're looking at keeping it there. Obviously, we're open to other places. We'll look at other places moving forward, but ideally, we'll stay in Denver. We'll look at another hotel, and we'll see. I would also like it to go to Florida. Yeah, but the problem is if we take it to Florida, I will get very, very drunk and I will lie on the beach, and I will not attend any of the con because I will be drunk on a beach. So.
And I am going to tell you right now, July in Florida sucks.
See, I came out in September last year and it was glorious.
That's acceptable. But July, no. It's humid. It's horrible. It rains every day. Yeah, no. I've been here 3 years and I already know I don't like the summer. So no, go to those mountains. Go up to Denver. It's relief.
Well, it is. It's a beautiful place. So we'll try and keep it in Denver. Like I say, I would prefer to do so.
And we'll keep going. That's all there is to it. And you know what? My eyes are such I can barely see. I have to lean up here to see what the hell these people are saying. But Milk is here. Hi, Milk. Milk is Discord Royal Road Rider. He's a great guy. So I dig down. I have a lot of people on the Discords and Royal Road that I've gotten to know. So I know the powerful people like Jez, and I know the lower powerful people like Milk and all my other
Dude, I'm not that powerful. I keep my mouth shut most of the time. I'm just reading through some of the comments here because I've just been focusing on just you on the main screen here. Dennis saying there, yeah, but do we have to go through the hotel? Unfortunately, we do. We did look at Costco, like I said, because we would just stacked massive plates, like pallets of water in the corners. We're not allowed to. So, yeah, we've got to go with the hotel, and it's like, but it is what it is.
That's the way the contract goes.
Yep.
Milk comes up with Rise of Mankind is great, but Arise is my favorite.
Ah, nice, dude. Thank you. I really enjoyed writing Arise, and not just because I spent a lot of my sort of young adulthood in Greece myself, very, very naughtily drunk again. I did enjoy that.
There's Milk. Milk goes, called it. He has the Geordie accent. Aren't you glad I sent you a primer?
You do need a primer with me sometimes.
Yeah, we just talk slow and loud, and then we'll be able to
I do that a lot.
Gary B is back. Dr. B came back through. He loves everything, though. So
he's a good one.
So I don't know how much time you have. I don't want to destroy your.
No.
Okay. Because I don't have anything until 9 o'clock now tonight because of I'm having Rin Stryker come in.
Rin, wonderful person.
So yes, she is. So that'll be loads of fun as well.
Speaking of Rin,
there's comes a book. Which one? Or books? Yeah, up there, the new ones. Both of the series, the Gunslingers.
Yep.
He knows where all his books are. That's a fantastic setup you got. But it definitely beats PopPop's.
No, it's a good setup. I try to get any signed books I can as I go through.
It seems like it's different. The last time when you guys had an announcement video, it looked a little bit darker and different. Maybe it was just the angle you decided to sit at.
Let's
But
have a little look.
it looks really, really cool and really different. I like the LED strip lighting.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that shit.
Yeah.
That'll do it. That'll make it darker and more atmospheric.
More private.
What is this?
What was that? Sorry.
No,
you missed
we've
out
already
on the
checked.
first 3
Yeah.
paperbacks for Rise of Mankind. I don't have many, to be perfectly honest.
I've tried.
I
really wanted the hardbacks, but
Geneva
Geneva and Jez both tried.
Yeah. I've got 6 of the Age of Stone and paperback left, and then that's it. They're gone. 2. Oh, let's have a quick look here. Oh yeah. Got the original one, and I've got 8 because I've got 2 slightly different spines. And then I have 2 of the Age of Bronze and 1 of the Age of Iron, and then that's it. They're all done. I've got a couple more of the hardbacks for 2 and 3, but I don't have any more 1. Just the way they're sold, really.
I'm going to buy, I'm just going to have to suck down and buy the 2 and the 3, but you're not selling them on Legion anymore. You're selling them on your own personal website now. So you've kind of not divorced, but separated yourself from the authorship or the authors on the Legion publisher site.
No, Rise of Mankind is literally because it's coming out in the stores at the moment.
Yes.
We've had to take it down so we can't sell the paperbacks or hardbacks anywhere. So there's links to stuff on there, and it's just the last couple that's there, and that's all it is. So,
yeah, and trust me, I've already ordered Age of Stone. So you know I'm going to support that whole thing.
Thank you, dude. We're doing some special editions, like little toys, not toys, little giveaways that are going to be available just at the con if you bring a copy of it to me, basically. I'll obviously sign them for you there, and then I'm going to do a little signing tour afterwards as well.
Oh, great. Now I have to bring books up.
I do it to annoy you and make your life more hard.
I took 50 pounds of books up last year, so I was trying not to, but there are certain ones I'm going to bring. So yeah, I will definitely be buying the hardbacks that Athon and Vault are putting out, without a doubt. I just, when they do those announcings, it's almost impossible to know. And by the time it is announced, Amazon's down. Legion is down. You just cannot get what they're going to be putting out. Apocalypse Parenting is going to be brought out by Tor. It's gone. Book 1's gone. It's already down. You can't do it. You can only order or pre-order it.
Part of that as well is that we're warned that we have to not warn people beforehand, because obviously it just eats into the sales that they would get going through. Sure. So you have to do it the right way, unfortunately. So then it comes and what you've got left.
You have to love what they're doing and moving everything out. We got what came out. Rune Seeker just came out yesterday. I know Dennis had it. He probably begged right for it last week or so. I didn't see that, but I ordered it and I had mine delivered yesterday. I always pick on Dennis because he's such a good guy.
Yeah, he's good.
I don't mind picking on people, because if people pick on me, I take it. So that's the way you got to be.
Exactly. It's part of the fun.
So this week, book 3 of Mallory's series came out. So
it's been an absolutely manic week. So it's the 26th. So yeah, the 24th, 2 days ago. So the way that it worked is, unfortunately, we work in partnership with audio publishers. So with Tantor, with Podium, with Audible, with Simon Maverick, with Blackstone. We work with all these different people. And when they upload it, they request certain dates from Audible. They say, we want to release this on this date, we want to release this on this date. And if Audible doesn't have it up in time, if they don't respond in time, Audible just changes the date. And the reason they do that is that if you're putting a pre-order through Audible, through the main system that the publishers use, it has to be a minimum of 3 months. It has to be up for that period. It doesn't have to be actively available for people, but it has to be uploaded and ready to go for that 3 month period. Now, the problem we have is that in doing so, because there was some confusion with their dates. Despite the dates that we'd asked for, quite a few books were moved to the 24th. So we had Ryan DeBrun's third book launching on the 24th. We had Ryan Maxwell's second book for audio launching on the 24th. And we had Mallory's third book launching on the 24th. And it's like, for fuck's sake, couldn't you do a week before and a week after? But
so you had two physicals, or two publications, and then I know that Ryan's was the audio.
Yeah, the others were audio as well. So it was a case of it was audio book 2 because unfortunately there was some problems with the recordings and it had to be pushed back slightly for Ryan Maxwell's. But the other 2 were a simultaneous release for Mallory and for Ryan DeBrun's.
Yikes! That was a busy week.
Yeah.
You survived, so it's all good.
We survived. It's been a bit of a manic week. There's been a lot of just running about, getting things ready. And now we're into the prototyping cycle for the con as well. So we have, I'm not sure if I can get it with the camera here. I don't think the cable's long enough. No, it isn't. But I'm going to pull it across this way and show you prototyping merchandise. So
you got to do all that. Just bring me bookmarks.
Yeah. Well, there's all sorts of things we've got planned. We're going to see what actually works out because we've got to prototype, see how they build, see how they work. But we'll bring stuff. We'll bring a lot of good stuff.
One of the coolest memories I have, other than meeting you down in the lobby for the very first time Thursday night, was
when we met up as well. And Paul, I hadn't seen Paul yet, and you were like, "Yes, line Paul up." Yeah. Yeah, we got a photo of the two of us.
We did that. I still have that all over the place, so we can always pull that out. But was walking up in vendor hall back to your booth or your tables, and I saw Grand System vending smack like on the top left, looking at left hand side. Holy shit! What's that doing there? I'm like, Gims, I have to buy that now. It's not coming out until September. So that was just so cool.
We'll have a few books that will be there that won't be coming out till September as well. We'll have a few. Some will be August, some will be September, but we will have some books that will be out early that will only be available in paperback well ahead of launch. So,
well, yeah. I am going to tell you that the books you have over here, when you order through Book Vault, when you order through the Legion website, the quality of those paperbacks and hardcovers are so spot on. They are phenomenal.
Thank you, dude. They're a lot better than the Amazon print, aren't they?
Oh, absolutely. And the pricing, the pricing is really amazing. There's a new person into the genre and into the Discord that I was chatting with this morning. He bought Jack Field's hardcovers this morning, and I'm like, best thing you can do. They're all great. All of that quality is phenomenal. I will always brag about that for you guys.
Thank you.
Hell, I'm advertising.
The thing is, the thing is, if we look at it, Amazon sounds like a great deal for the printing side of things. It's print on demand, same as Book Vault. But when people look at it, they see sometimes that our prices are quite high on these books. And across all of the LitRPG sphere, they're quite high and they're quite expensive. And the reason for this, just to quickly segue into a more technical discussion with it, is that Amazon only takes 40% of the cost, the sale price of the book. But for ease of reckoning, let's say that the book costs £10, $10. Okay, Amazon takes their 40% immediately. So they take that $4 straight out, and then they take the print cost out. Now, for books my size, that's usually around $7.50 to $8.50 each. So if let's say 8 just for ease of reckoning, with every sale, if I sell them at $10, I get a bill from Amazon for $2. Yeah. So I don't get a cent from that. So we go, okay, well, we can't do it at that. What we'll do is we'll double it. We'll crank it up. Let's say it's $20 a book. It's more expensive than people want to pay, but at least we don't lose money on this. And then Amazon says, oh, thanks very much. We're going to take our 40% straight away. So now it's $8 they take. And then you take another $8 off for publishing for the actual cost of printing. It's now $16. and then you've got the delivery fees, and we're left with about $2.50 to $3 out of a $20 book.
So there's just no winning for people.
It's
People like me
sounds,
do not result in profit.
well, no, but this is the thing. It sounds like it's crap. It does. It sounds, oh God, it's not worth the effort. And a lot of people do view it as that's why they don't bring out paperbacks at all. They go, it's just not worth it. But it's fucking glorious to have them. There's a reason I have all of these. I mean, this is my stock for when people put orders on, and then I sign them from here. So if you buy a book from the website normally and it's not signed, it's printed directly by Book Vault and it's sent straight to you. If it's a signed one, it's sent to me, and I sign them myself, put some stuff in, and send it off to you. But that's just to give you an idea of why it's so expensive to produce books and why the books are usually so expensive to do. But Book Vault works slightly differently, and they work on a more traditional method of it, which is that they insist on the 50% discount so they can sell directly to stores as well. They take off the printing cost, then everything else that's left there is yours. So it's quite reasonable, and it meant that we were able to drop the price of the books. So
you're selling a hardback book for $17. Yeah. Not yours, but I mean,
there's a reason for that as well, because I can sell some of my books for cheaper than that. The problem is that Book Vault that we use for this don't do the actual sleeves on them. If you want them with the sleeve, which is the way that I have my hardbacks on here, right, they're more expensive, and they have to go through a completely different company called Ingram Spark. So those are more expensive. And the reason I've got them still at that price point, if you have a look at it, you should be able to see there's a Book Vault price at, say, $17.99, and then there's the signed ones, which are significantly more expensive. And the signed ones are the ones that I'm signing on here that are the wrapped.
So what is? I was just talking to Boz the other day about getting his book 3 over here, and he's saying that right now the importing fees, the tariff fees, whatever you want to call them, are just really outrageous as well. It just costs a shit ton to get things by post from the islands to us. Massively. Is that impacting you, or are you still swallowing that?
Huge. We swallowed a lot of it, and the problem is that it's not just that. It's not just the import. So as an example, for me to send a package across to the US for a hardback, I always recommend people buy 2 or more at a time. It's not me going, hey, I want more profit. It's me saying that there's a certain amount it costs to send them, and it's cheaper to add a little bit of weight on than it is to send multiple parcels. So if you're buying, say, 2 books, it usually costs me around $25 to send that, just from the UK to the US. That's what it cost me before. Now it costs me about $38. And the reason for that is partially because of the new tariffs, and partially because a lot of the suppliers we used to have a lot of different shipping companies we could use. And the vast majority of them just went, no, not doing this anymore, and stopped. And they just don't ship to the US, period, anymore. And in doing so, those that were left that do ship to the US immediately saw a lack of competition and jacked the prices up further.
Yep.
And there's nothing we can do about that, so we just have to eat it. So we pass on some of it, and some of it we eat. And it's just like, oh, well. My plan for the future, if things continue as they are, is that I will simply sign a lot of extra books and bring them across with me up to the cons and leave them with Geneva, and Geneva will be able to ship them out internally in the US.
Okay, so there you go. That's a positive.
Yeah,
and whatnot. So that's cool. I'm trying to think of all the things that I wanted to talk. Yes, I bitched at you about Rise of Mankind.
Yeah,
talked about the cons. We talked about the publishing that Book Vault is just great. You added a whole bunch of fun, good stuff, even though you were late because of this time kerfluffle.
Yeah, I will apologize to everybody there that wasn't aware of what happened. Basically, when PopPop and I had discussed this, with the UK time, we'd said 8 o'clock, which was 3 o'clock to yourself. But then you've had daylight savings come in, and ours doesn't change until next weekend. So with that change of it, it became 7 o'clock my time. So I was putting my little one to bed, and then just sort of like, dum-da-dum-da-dum, there he is. Oh, he's all tucked in, walking around the house thinking, oh, I'll make some food before I come on. And it was like, oh, shit, why are you ringing me? Yeah, I was thinking, he's ringing me to tell me, what software we're going to use for the call. We're going to do. It's like, what's going on? Where the fuck are you? Yeah.
It's a fun story. That's all that is.
Yeah.
So, what else do you want to talk about? What else do you want to tell all your fans, your denizens, your trolls? Because Jay's here.
Oh, pet troll, Joe. Okay, so let's roll this back a little bit. So when we were talking before, we were saying about Rise of Mankind, and I'm going to do a side project. Okay, now I can't talk too much about said side project yet because we're still working on a lot of bits, but it's going to be aimed to release next year. And my intention at this point is it's going to be a big series. Okay, it's going to be smaller books individually, but a big series overall. And it's going to be releasing simultaneously with ebook, with audio, and with print. I'm probably going to release it at LitRPG Con next year.
Ooh.
That's my intention at this point. So if all the stars align, book one will release around LitRPG Con time. I'm not really sure yet if I'm going to do it a week before so that people have got the chance to actually get it and bring it to the con, or I'll do it the weekend of the con. Or we'll figure all this out. But it'll be it's going to be a big deal. That's my intention for it. It's going to be a hard push for it. I'm going to be showing it to a lot of people. We've got a lot of partners that are very interested in it, so I'm quite excited to do it. But it's going to be a completely different story for me, completely different style of story. It's still going to be lit RPG. It's still going to be as mad as you expect it to be with me, and as brutal. It's definitely very brutal, but I'm quite looking forward to it. So my intention is that you'll hear a lot more about this next year. I'm going to be opening the doors to increase our ARC team again as well. Now, for those that might be interested in joining the ARC team, there's a couple of things to quickly stress on it. The ARC team is literally, as it sounds, it's an advanced reader copy. You get a copy of the book a month thereabouts before anybody else. Nobody else is going to get this. You're going to get it. You read it, see what you think. Okay. Now at this point, it's going to have been recorded because I'm going to do a dual release for it. So we're not going to be able to change the text. But if you find something minor that there's a problem, please tell me if you do join it, because then I can try and fix little bits for release. But what I will say is the reason we're going to expand it and we're going to reach out is the ARC team is fantastically important for one really big point, and it's the reviews. When Amazon changes their structure each time and changes their launch strategies, the reviews are always important. There's no two ways about that. If you enjoy a book, please, for the love of God, leave a review. But with their changes over the last sort of 6 months, reviews have become even more important. And I know very good friends of mine who have launched fantastic books in the last few months, and crickets. It's just they're not moving in sales. They're barely being seen, because they didn't have enough reviews out of the gate. So the ARC team is there to be able to read the book in advance, to see what they think of it, and then to leave a review on launch. Now, the problem with ARC teams is also the wonderful side of it, is that a lot of people join the ARC teams and then don't leave reviews. That's not how it works. We're giving you a book early. We're giving you a book for free. So we ask that you leave a review. So if you're interested in doing that, and if you can commit to actually leaving the review, because if you don't, there's a lot of books in this series, you'll get them ahead of everybody else, but you won't get book 2 if you don't leave a review for book 1. So we're going to be very strict on this one. If you're interested in joining the ARC team and helping us out and helping the rest of our authors out as well, and helping friends out, because we'll make sure you get plenty of books. But
that's what you guys become.
Yeah. I have conversations with a lot of my ARC team on a regular basis. Maria also, for example, just pick one of the members of the team out the top there, runs a lot of the moderating in my Discord. She runs all over for us. Lots of people in our ARC team are everywhere in my goddamn life. I keep messages from them. I wake up in the morning, and one of the first things I do, and the way that my life is sort of waking up, having 5 minutes in bed, just trying to pull myself around and work out what planet I'm on. Why am I cuddling a policeman's helmet? Those kind of things that everybody goes through in the morning. Like, why have I got this? Why do I have a new tattoo? What happened last night? Why am I on the beach? Oh God, not again. And one of the first things I always do is I'm going through my phone and a list of messages, and some of them are just completely random, trying to sell me shit and trying to, oh, I loved your book. I especially love this about it. It's like bullshit. Delete. Because it's always bots. You get several bots a day saying, I love this, I do this, me sell your books. Go fuck yourselves.
Don't need you.
Exactly. Well, everybody needs to sell more books. It's the bots, they're just trying to rip you off. But then I get messages from our ARC team, from my friends in the teams, and yeah, I've become really good friends with some of these people, and it means a lot to me.
And what the hell? I called him twice and he picked up both times.
I mean, I'm not going to pick up again because now I know it's you.
I kind of figured as much.
Kind of hoping it was somebody else, butt dial or something. But,
I can always have Gims call you from her number, then you won't know what's going on. Different area code.
Yeah, I'll just see it's America and go, oh, you're all dodgy.
You pick up for Jay Baraz when he calls you?
Oh yeah, that's different though.
Paul, I suck in other words.
No, if you did, you'd be a lot more popular. No, it's a different story though. To be fair, Paul and I, Jay sometimes as well, we've got like a little group of quite active gamers on a Sunday night usually, because that's my evening time, is my Sunday night. I stop everything. The kids are going to bed and I have a little bit of time. And we play on Ark Raiders and just generally like shout at the world and play at Helldivers and just complain, shout at each other and wind each other up. And it's really good fun.
If I ever get back to playing games, I do them alone. I would do Minecraft by myself, not with sigils. And I would play Icarus by myself just to go and build stuff, really stupid looking stuff, but it's just me.
I love games like that. And I love Ark Raiders on single because you're off, but if you've ever come across this game before, it's really addictive for a very simple reason. It's an extraction shooter. So the world's gone to shit, apocalyptic and so on. You're living underground with the others and you're coming up to the surface to get things. And you need to be able to upgrade your weapons to get different things, to carry out missions, that kind of stuff. But when you come to the surface, there's arcs, there's robots flying around, there's different machines hunting you, trying to kill you. But everybody else that's there can kill you as well. And so you get some people that are good people and that will help you out and like, hey, friendly, and you go past each other and they'll gang up with you to take down bigger monsters. And you get some people that are scumbags who will shoot you in the back and try and take your stuff. And if you respond to this, if you actually defend yourself, which really annoys me, if you defend yourself, you get marked as a PvPer. And so then it starts feeding you more and more of these scumbags in meeting, like in areas. And if you don't respond to it, if you run away, it then puts you in more PvE areas, which is a lot more fun.
Yeah.
But it really annoys me because it's like, it shouldn't be that way. I should be able to defend myself. It should just be that if I don't,
it should be the aggressor that gets dicked over.
Exactly. But yeah, I had a game on it earlier this morning and got jumped by somebody, killed them, and I was like, woohoo, that was good. Finished the match, got out with all my gear, and the next two that I started were both PvP, and everybody was killing each other, and I was like, fuck, I've just ruined my bloody run.
I'd love going back in the day playing EQ, Asheron's Call. This is like turn of the century stuff for me.
Well, it's a good stuff. I loved World of Warcraft for a little while.
I liked it until they started doing the raid level stuff. I don't want to hang out with 40 people going into a battlefield. I just don't give a shit. I always wanted just to go, get my companion and go mine. And go build shit. That's all I did.
Me as well. Yep.
So
I like that side of things.
All right, ordered. I see Dennis has ordered bronze, iron, steel from the Legion site. You
legend.
Just get stone. Get stone when the new one comes out.
So Dennis, is it paperback you're looking for, or is it hardback?
What are you buying, Dennis?
World of Warcraft was great. It's how I met my wife.
These things happen.
Yeah. I know. I know quite a few people.
Truthfully, Jay and Sydney met that way. Paperback, yes.
Yeah. Paperback, yeah. So it's because
Yeah.
paperback's coming out soon, so it's had to be taken down. Sorry, it's the
You
white
can get
screen
Stone
on
on
here.
Amazon. You can buy Stone on Amazon for the Vault A-Time copy.
You shouldn't be able to. It's if it's on there still for paperback, it'll be the one that gets released.
Well, no, it's I ordered the hardback. Hardback.
But it should be the one that's releasing in June, not the older one. Yeah,
that's what I'm getting.
Yeah.
So.
Good. Well, it'll be out at LitRPG Con. It'll be out on the 30th. It comes out, but also I'm going to have some copies at the con as well of the new one to be able to sell there. So I'll be signing those.
I mean, they're like seriously hard pushing He Who Fights with Monsters right now.
Yeah.
So I mean, they don't mess around. You know, they have the advertising machine flowing.
Yeah.
On all of them, which will lead to success for everybody. So.
Well, the thing is that if the more sales we get through it, it doesn't really matter so much who it is individually. Although obviously we all want to make as much money as we can, of course we do. But it's because the more sales that go through as LitRPG, that go through these various channels, it's then teaching these different people, like Barnes and Noble, like Asda, Walmart, wherever it is. It's teaching them that it's worth stocking these books. And when they start to buy them in, they start to sell more. It then sells more on top and sells more on top. So it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, if I can get my words out. So it's definitely worth it. From a personal point of view, I would make more money if people bought it directly on my website every single time. But I will always say, given the choice, if you're going to buy it on my website, is wonderful. Thank you. I will make more money from that, and that will definitely help me in the short term. If you're buying for books for anybody, if you can order them through Barnes & Noble online, if you can order it through Walmart online or anywhere else like that, it teaches these bigger retailers that there is a market. So it's always helpful.
So the question now, when you pre-order a book on Amazon, they don't charge you till release, till shipment. Does B&N do the same?
Yes and no. The way they're supposed to work this, and I say supposed to, is that they're supposed to put a call on that money. So with any kind of payment that you make, any kind of online payment or store payment or card payment, essentially what happens in the store is you buy X and it requests to your bank and says, does PopPop have $30 in his account? And the bank says, yes, it does. Okay, great. Put that $30 aside for me. I will provide you the receipt, which shows that I have a genuine cost that's gone through. And then what happens is the bank gets this receipt sent through from the retailer, and then it releases the money to the retailer. The way that the pre-orders are supposed to work is that happens. The bank gets a message from Bob Jones, whatever shop it is, who says, I have this. Has this person got the money? Yes, they have. Okay, thanks very much. I will transfer you a receipt soon for this. Because that isn't able to be released, the book itself, what happens is the money is put aside, but then because they don't provide the actual receipt, usually within the 30 days, depending on which bank it is, they then release that money back into your account. So then come the time, the release X months later, it then asks for that money again. So sometimes people will see a payment going out today, if you buy it today, and then they'll see another payment going out later on. But it's because inside of that, in that 30-day period, that money's been released and it's come back into your account. But you don't notice when that happens generally. So
well, the only thing you have to do then is, if on Amazon, I know that does not go that way when you use a debit card. They just don't charge you, because that's just the way they do it. So if you're going to be doing it from B&N or Books A Million or a place like that, credit card it.
Yeah.
And the holds don't really matter. So simple as that, people. Credit card for everything but Amazon. On Amazon, pre-order, who cares? You can debit card it because you're not going to hit it until they actually ship it. So
exactly.
Look at all the stuff we've learned today. And thank you for bringing that up. I didn't want to have, some of the things you brought up, I didn't want to necessarily know, the author. Well, we didn't even talk about what I wanted to, but the art team is different.
What do you want
I just wanted how you've expanded your roster. You've added Ryan DeBurn, Ryan Maxwell. Ryan Maxwell came to you, I would assume I'm assuming this. He came to you with his finished trilogy. almost finished trilogy maybe, but he was an unpublished author, but he had his plan, he had his books. He's not coming at you with a half a book. Said, can you help me with this? And Ryan DeBrun is well established.
Yeah.
And you probably had a great relationship with him, and he had this new series, and that all happened. So as you have the opportunity to expand your roster, what do you want to tell the potential authors that want to look at
Legion?
The Legion.
So, first of all, I will say that our focus is always on helping the author. So we have essentially two different pathways. Okay. First of all, you can come to us, and if you want to publish with us and we want to publish with you, and we look at the story and go, yes, we want to do this, then we do what's called full publishing. Okay. So we would then take the rights, we take the book, and we give you your money and stuff, and we publish the whole thing. That's one path. Part of that process is that you apply to us through the website. It usually takes around a month or so before we get back to you. So I will say, please be patient on that. The reason for it is there's 3 of us working through, but when you send us the manuscript, your manuscript comes in and we ask for a couple of things. First of all, we ask that it's a Word document. We ask for 3 to 10 chapters, preferably 10 chapters, but if there's only 3, we're okay about that. And we ask for a covering letter. And the reason we ask for these 3 things is, first of all, Word, because we can download that, we can read it on our different machines. So I can read it on my phone in bed, we can read it on a tablet, we can do different stuff with it. If it's a PDF, I can do that, but I can't make any notes on it, which then means I've got to use different programs and everything else to pain in the ass. So we ask people to do Word only. And we ask for that amount of words for the 10 chapters, ideally, because we want to read a bit more. Now, it might be that I read the first 3 chapters and I go, this is dog shit, this is fucking awful. I'm not going to read the whole 10 chapters, because at the end of it, if you haven't written anything that's interesting at this stage, it's not going to work. But if you have, if it's good, I'm going to read the full thing, and I'm going to give me a much better idea of your story, because a lot of the time when you're starting off, you're not really able to share much of the story yet. You're setting the scene. So we want a bit more. Lastly, we ask for a covering letter. And the reason we ask for the covering letter is to make sure you're paying attention and to make sure that you're telling us something. Now, what people are often telling us is that they're not paying attention, because we receive a covering letter that has no details in, that says, thank you for your time at Portal Books. I have friends at Portal Books. That's great. But if you're submitting to Portal Books, write Portal Books. If you're submitting to Legion, write Legion. Pay attention. I've talked to the other publishers, and they're like, oh, yeah, I got one the other day, and it was marked for Mountaindale Press. That's great. That's not Mountaindale Press you submitted to. And so the first thing that we're seeing here is that you're not paying attention. Now, this seems like a big ask. So a lot of people said, oh, yeah, but I mean, I'm sending out to all these publishers. I'm not spending an hour or 2 hours doing a letter for each one. Okay, fair enough. Let's flip this around, because what you're doing is you're sending me a manuscript that's, say, 10 chapters. Now, that 10 chapters is going to take me, when I'm making notes as well, 2 hours, thereabouts. Okay? There's 3 people reading. That's 6 hours. What we're going to do, if we like this, if we don't like it, then, okay, it's a refusal. So that's it. It ends at that point, and it's only cost us 6 hours. If it's something that's good, we're now going to look into who you are. And we're not going, I don't want to work with that one, though that does come in a little bit further on. It's a case of we're looking to find out what kind of a person you are. Because if you're, let's say from a commercial point of view, if you have a very active Facebook group or a very active Facebook persona or Instagram or TikTok or whatever you use, and you are very, very racist and aggressive to people, first of all, I don't want to work with somebody like that. Secondly, from a mercenary point of view, you've alienated a great many people. They're not going to buy your book. So you're not going to be successful. It's just, I mean, look at how many companies have to drop people because they say silly things. Yeah. If you're starting out and you're saying things like that, it's not a good sign. I'm telling you this because we have had people apply that have done this. We've looked at it and gone, oh, this is a fantastic story. I really like this. And then we've looked at their Facebook and gone, Christ, there's no way I can work with this person. No. So we're looking at those already. Now we're up to about 10 hours worth of work on our side. And we're just digging through, find out a little bit about you. It's not a credit check. It's not a big background check. It's just making sure that you're actually somebody we want to work with. Because if you're really aggressive and you're really horrible and you're a nasty piece of work, we don't want to work with you. If you're a nice person, we quite like people. We work with Legion as a family. So we want you to be people that we actually actively want to spend time with. So now we're looking at where we're at this stage. Now we're 10 hours in and we go, right, so this manuscript is going to need a dev editor. It's going to need a line editor. It's going to need science and continuity, which is basically saying that if John is 6 foot in book 1, he's 6 foot in book 2, he's 6'7" in book 3. Where did those 7 inches come from? Things like that. That's science and continuity. That's going through making sure that things that you said earlier on still matter and that the science behind things actually works. Because a lot of the people that read a LitRPG are into that kind of thing. So we need to make sure.
Kind of like what happens to Matt in.
Yeah, exactly. So he's great. But then we move on to, once we've done those things, you've got the ARC team, you've got the beta team. A massive amount of work goes into these things. So we look at it and say, right, if you're not willing to put in 2 hours to put together a submission to us, but you expect us to put in 10 plus hours in considering your work. Hey, exactly, Jay. That's what she said. But this is where we come into it. So we're saying, well, that's the publishing side. So we'll put a lot of effort behind you if you've put in some effort with us as well. Because if you don't put in the effort, the simple truth is that a lot of this won't work, because I can run all the adverts that we do. We can push you, we can give you opportunities at LitRPG Con and other conventions. We can give you all these opportunities. But if you don't pay any attention on the submission, that shows that you're not going to pay attention further down the road. And that's going to be a negative straight away. So that's one side. That's for the full publishing side. Okay. We also do everything that we do as publishers, we do as a paid service. And that's the VA side, the virtual assistant side, whereby anything that we're doing for you on this side, we will teach you to do for an hourly rate on this side. So if it might be a case of you're fantastic at writing the books, you're fantastic at editing the books, you can't find a cover artist for love nor money. We will sort your cover artist out. That's a cover artist you want to work with. It's not just like a random person. We'll do all the chasing around. We'll sort out typography. We'll do those kind of details for you. But more to the point, we'll teach you to do it yourself, so that basically you're not going a fisherman. Yeah, that's the idea of it. Because then there's a lot of scam companies out there that are really doing this kind of backstabbing shit, where you pay $10,000 and all they do is they put you up on Amazon, and that's it. And they've charged you. They've said, oh, well, look, this dev editor has cost you $3,000, but it's worth it. Yeah, that's actually Barry in their office who's writing it, who's doing the bit. You're getting ripped off. So when you're doing this, we're teaching people, like, you don't have to do it this way. We'll teach you to do it yourself. We'll teach you to fish, and you can go and do it yourself. Now, the reason I've said about these two markedly different paths is that we are in a very, very fortunate position with Legion, in that we are not looking to expand massively. We get quite a lot of submissions weekly. Sometimes a surprising amount of submissions. Sometimes it's quiet, and it's like, oh, thank God. And the next week we'll get hammered. It's a good thing, and I get to read some incredible stories. But at the end of the day, we're not desperately looking to sign a lot of people. We sign people only that we read their work and we look at who they are and we want to work with them. We want to be friends with these people. We want to go for beers with them. That's how we choose our people, essentially. We like the story. We like the person. We're going to do it. I've just completely lost where I was going with that. I've just completely, I was thinking about all the people that we've signed, and I was like, I really like this person. I really like this person.
Something
I really
about
like this person.
not, you're not looking.
Yes, sorry, we're not expanding. Yeah. So I just completely lost it there, thinking about these people I'm really fortunate to be friends with. But what I'm saying is we're not looking desperately to expand. So we get the opportunity to be able to focus on other things. And that's where LitRPG Con comes in. We're providing these opportunities. We're looking at building the entire genre as much as we can. So we are very much sort of 50-50. We have two focuses, which is one side, which is publishing, and one side, which is the conventions, and building what will hopefully be the next generation. So, yeah.
That's a valid thing to want to do.
It is. We
What are
enjoy
you
it.
reading right now?
What was that?
What are you reading?
Right now, I am currently reading, the hell is it called? Aetherforged by Harmon Cooper and Luke Chimlenko.
That's getting read a lot.
Enjoying it?
Yeah, I think it was mentioned last night by Mr. Helligers. So,
yeah, we were talking about it the other day.
that was a fun interview as well. I'm
He
still
is-
finishing Stumbling Up by Reckwell.
Yep.
I just
Neil
finished.
is a legend.
He is a legend. I finished Dark Matter Ascension by Sarah Streams this week.
I've
Good
heard some
book.
good things about that. I haven't done that one yet myself, but I'm looking to.
Big chunky thing. So
Best way.
that's the way to do it. So, any other questions, guys? What's your current? My current read, it's Stumbling Up, and I'm actually reading Jared Patches that I interviewed as well last night. She's great. She goes under the name Tonic on Discord. It is That Which Devours, science fiction-y lit RPG type thing. So after talking with her during that interview, I'm gonna pick that one up and go through that. I have a shit ton to read. I always have a shit ton to read. So,
See, this is a great thing because when I first started the genre, there was a dozen books. 2018, there were so few lit RPG books available. I went through literally everything that was out, and then I was searching for stuff that was sort of adjacent, trying to find the same hit, and there was nothing there. And it was really like you'd read some terrible things just hoping for the hit. And now it's wonderful how much there is.
The benefit for me coming in January 2025 with Matt, when I saw the books in Books A Million, everything else was there.
Yeah.
And there's still and new stuff is just coming out, but I could always just read a ton of stuff. And I remember going in and typing in LitRPG into Facebook. I'm like, holy shit, and just. But it will always be known that the very first series that I snagged and read, Rise of Mankind. That's why I bug you so much. I could not get out of it before the con. I mean, so many books suffered because I just could not stop.
Thank you, dude.
Those books.
I'm looking forward to getting back to it. Obviously, I know the story. I know where it's going in my head, but it's the way that I write it. I enjoy the story. I enjoy the interactions. I enjoy Matt and Chris especially because they are essentially, you always write, or I always write with people in mind. So Chris is a really good friend of mine, Dave. It's his mentality. It's him that I'm having these conversations with, and it works really well. The abuse, the friendly abuse that's constantly backwards and forwards.
Yeah.
That's me and Dave. Yeah.
But the stories it just like it grabbed. So that's why I just stuck with it the whole way through. Some I've not picked up again from those early days just because. Those don't get mentioned until I actually pick them up, love them, and then I can talk about them again because PopPop never says bad things. It's just not appropriate.
I agree.
And again, I pick on you because I care.
I'm big enough and ugly enough to take it.
I pick on Ben Karai because I want to fucking see Unorthodox Farming 3. It's just an awesome series.
I'm with you on that one. I've got with Ben. What have I got? There we go. Vampire Vincent.
Now, with that, I've tried. Again, I know it's not a vampire book. I know it's not a vampire story. I already know that, but it's got a vampire name in it. So I did promise him, and I put it somewhere in Facebook, that if he publishes 3, I will read Vampire Vincent. But also, I think he's actually getting published elsewhere as well. So I did that off of Amazon. because there's no way I was not going to have the hardbacks of the original series. So
I will say a couple of people have reached out to me about the Rise of Mankind, because obviously the ones that are releasing currently in the stores are a different style, the covers there. My normal artist will be completing the entire series in the normal style. So I will be completing the series in that style as well. So we'll do that first, and then the ones that release through the stores will have their own covers and will be separate. So don't worry.
I'm going to make sure I grab it. And I'll slowly start buying again, because on the Legion side, I'll be buying more hardcovers and paperbacks. So I'm not going to read the hardcovers. Like, I'm not reading Ryan Maxwell's hardcovers.
Yeah, they're trophies.
You know, I'll be reading the paperbacks.
Yeah.
I might not even read your paperbacks. I may just read Amazon's paperbacks. Because there is such a difference between the two, even. So, to
be fair,
then with your, the Jez books, I'll have to do the same thing. You just love moving around with your goddamn camera.
Oh yeah, I do it deliberately to annoy Lars a lot of the time as well. But,
is Lars here?
I know, but I just do it in my Discord during the day. We write together. There's a group of us that all write together in Discord together, and it's good fun. But I have, from this point, moving this way, if the camera chooses to follow me, I have the Wheel of Time. So I have the older, smaller ones,
series,
and then I have the bigger hardbacks.
Yeah,
and it absolutely kills me that somebody, I can't remember who it was, a friend of mine years ago, borrowed book one, and so he never brought it back. He moved to this person, I think it is. He moved back to South Africa. And so I ended up having to buy another copy of book one, but I can't get it in the same style as the original ones were in the UK. You just can't get those covers anymore. So I am now going to have to buy the entire series again.
Of course.
In a different cover, which is going to be the one that's available online. That's all the dragon rides across the side of it. It's beautiful, all leather bound. And that's going to be
what you have to do. I mean, I gave a book away. I gave a book away probably 8 to 10 years ago, and he left the company where he was working. It's gone. It's not even available anymore. So that's not happening anymore.
Yeah,
I'm not a library.
No.
So anything else?
I'm not going to.
Where did you get a camera like that? Where did you get a camera system like that?
Well, my one. Obs. What the hell's it called? Obsbot, I think it is. Let's have a little quick looky here. Obsbot 2 off the top of my head, something like that. Yeah. OBS BOT. Obsbot 2 is the camera. And it does different things. It follows you around if you want it to. You can, in theory, you can do different things with it. Like, it's just whether it picks up half the commands.
So highfalutin.
It's because I move around a lot, and so I do this deliberately to annoy Lars, because that's a massive driver in my life.
I'll tell Lars to go look at it.
Oh yeah,
and he'll see that at least he was involved in the interview.
Exactly. Just for everybody, just to really finish things off here with a very, very important message. Okay. Now, Lars is a really good friend of mine, and as is Kev Sinclair, you'll find the three of us together. But Lars is going to be coming out to LitRPG Con this year, and it's vitally important. This is something you must remember. He is Swedish. Okay. And the reason I stress this is that he is not. He's actually Danish, and there's a massive rivalry between the Danes and the Swedes, and it annoys the hell out of him when we call him Swedish. So please, at LitRPG Con, come up to him and point out that he's Swedish.
So what's it like living in Stockholm, Lars? Something like that.
Just, it's wonderful to meet my favorite Swedish author. Things like that.
I knew
this
that.
Is how you can tell when you're close friends, when you abuse each other as often as possible.
And on that note, Jez, thank you for joining me. Now I want to ask you this. So now, this was the road to Jordan Con. you probably do you want someone to come and talk to you again on the road to LitRPG? Are you like
it's all blurred after a little while for me, because the way that I work is I write in my office here for 8 hours a day. I'm in here, I'm doing Legion business, or I'm just writing. And so day after day after day just blurs entirely. And then suddenly it's the weekend again. Now I get to see my family and I get to spend time with everybody. And then it's the week. And so it blurs so fast. I worked it out the other day that it was going to be 6 weeks to JordanCon. And I think it's only 3 weeks now.
Yeah, about.
And it was like, I'm sure that was only yesterday that I figured out that it was 6 weeks. So it's all blurring, and we'll be at JordanCon, then at LitRPG Con very, very soon. So I'm quite.
So you may not have time. We'll figure that out.
I'll give you a shout. We'll always sort.
It won't. I mean, it can't be me. I have to have a life too. You know. What's life?
Exactly.
So we shall go. Jez, thanks for coming in.
Dude, thanks for having me.
Every freaking time. I will be just thrilled to see you. Can't wait to see you in April in Atlanta. It'll be loads of fun. Whoever else is showing up as well.
It will.
That's it. Hey guys, we're done. I don't have to listen to anything else you're saying because you're just going to delay the shut off. And only one thing, Milk. I can't stop cosplay from coming in because that's the way I am. And he would just abuse me horribly if I kicked him out anyway. So, and cosplay is coming up for an interview next Thursday as well. But I booked him 4 months ago and he's had to suffer. Jez, I talked to Jez like 2 weeks ago, just so you know. And he just said, okay, sure. But Jez, you have a great night. Guys, thanks for coming in. PopPop
for having me.
Is done today until 9 o'clock when I talk to Rin. That'll be happening tonight. It's going to be a little bit different, at least what I want to talk about, not about books and all. But, you know, she is the mixologist. So I'm going to do some talking there. So we'll see what happens there. Guys, for now, PopPop is out. It takes 2 seconds.